everyone, good afternoon. So we are live here on the day 17 of the 20-day quarantine cake art challenge. Okay, so usually I just don't wait for people to join and talk to you guys and all that, because I'm assuming quite a few will come back later and they start watching the live, and I just don't want the intro to be like really long before anyone wants to just go ahead and kind of watch the tutorial, and that I think is the main focus. So I just kind of skip off and do not spend a lot of time in the initial few minutes, and then quite go ahead with what we really want to do. Okay, so that is the board that I had made. The good afternoon, Rupali. Some of the color, the gel, the painting that I have made on top is not quite dried for now. Okay, so I didn't paint the back, so that I just tested. That's like a simple patch I tested to see how my gel color is going to be. So this is the actual color of the sorry, Gumpaste that I have. So I had made panels. So this is one panel, okay, and this is one panel, and this is the third one, and I placed them in position, and then the bottom is another one. I'd cut this based on what shape I'd want, and there is one small strip here, okay, for the shape of the boat. It not basically the shape, I don't even know the name of this. It is just an add-on which quite resembles one part of the boat. The maximum that I could just try and figure out what should I name this. I'm not very sure yet. Okay, and they're basically there is gap here, and this is where we kind of sit when we are going on a boating, right? So this is also placed, and that is also placed, and they're nice and stuck. Okay, so this is what we'll be doing, just a description of how it is going to look at the end of whatever we are going to make now. So for which I just need the brown gum paste that is the same shade as the one at the back. If I had wanted to make it all even, I should have painted here as well to make it all nice and even. So okay, so I just started with gum paste. Okay, so what I did, you see, so this gum paste is quite hard. Why? Also because if your gum paste is hard to start with, all the panels should be rolled. The gum paste should be rolled out and cut, and completely let it dry for some time, half an hour or so. Okay, but what I did, I just let the whole gum paste out completely for say 15 minutes to 20 minutes and let it dry first. Why? Because I didn't have a lot of wait time to complete this, and also I wanted to complete the whole thing in the live itself, instead of making a panel and then letting it to dry, or then make another panel earlier ahead of the live, plan for it, and then show that one which has been drying out for some time already. I wanted to avoid that, so I'm working with a quite firm gum paste. You see, I'm just putting all my pressure, and it is quite hard. Okay, so when if you are starting with a fresh gum paste, you could do, but then you want to let the panels kind of dry out. Okay, firm up, and then put them in place. Because it's quite hard for right now, I'm just kneading it. First I'm just going to cut out this panel and these two. Okay, so for which I'll just take half the portion, keep this for remaining. I'll just use it for the bottom. Then just flattening it out a bit, and I just want it a bit thicker. Bit sticky corn flour. Because it's dry, the edges are cracking, but that's fine. And it will dry out quite well for me. Okay, so now I just want the strips. I'm just going to use the scraper. The height of this and the height of this is going to be the same, okay, but this one is a shorter strip. So to start with, I'll just remove this part out, and then here I'm just taking from the top. This has to be straight. Okay, so this will be the height. It is a little shorter, but that doesn't matter. I just you can make it in whatever size you want. Okay, so this will be the height of the boat to go. Now this strip and this strip has to be the same height as this strip, right? So use this strip, the one that we cut, as the guideline, as the measurement. Place it here starting from this edge, so you know what is the width of the next strip that you need to cut. After placing it there, I'm just checking from the eye level. Okay, and that will be for this side and the other side as well. Same measurement. So I'm just softening up the base. The cutouts, if there are any jagged edges, clean it up. For now then, this I just want it flat, which is this part, right? You can keep this a little longer. When you position it out, you can figure out if you want it shorter, you can still go ahead and then shorten it out. Okay, and so this is the strip for the back. And now these two, one side is flat, which is this one. This side is at an angle. Okay, only then you get the pointy side for the boat. So for which okay, now I just want to measure from where they have to be on the same size, right? So this bottom, I'm just measuring it here. Okay, and the top is just the same end. Okay, so from here to here is what I need to cut. I have marked here, right? Okay, so they both will be the same actually. If you just flip it over, they both are the same. Okay. So this will go at the back, and this will be here. We'll be using glue to put them together, but before which I'm just checking if I like the shape. Now should I go ahead and reduce this, or if I need longer strip, or how do I want? Now I can decide, but I feel this is quite good. Okay, except that this one is not standing because we'll just be adding glue. But if you see, this one and this one together can just stay in place. Okay, so now I'll be needing the glue. My glue is kind of thickened, so I'm just adding some water, mixing it. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is stick these ends together. Okay, and opening it out, and now I'll need glue on this side. And I'm going to add glue on this edge as well. Just wiping off the excess glue. Just keeping it straight. This part I'm just widening up. You don't want to make it like a triangle, but the shape just needs to be in place. Okay, it should just widen up. You know, there's a curve here, and there it comes straight, and then here I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure, so then it will start sticking properly once the glue dries. Okay, so now I'm just happy with the shape. I'm just going to let that one dry, and now I'll just do this bit. Okay. I have some leftovers right here. It's rolled out and cut and all that. I could have rolled it bigger, so I can place the whole thing and then cut out the base as well, but I'll just use this to make these panels out for now. Okay, once the glue dries, it is going to take the shape. Okay, so let me try with this one to make that part. You can use your craft knife. a long rectangle. Okay, and then I'm just going to roll this like that, which is this part. Okay, and I'm going to put glue here. I'm going to place it here right away because that is at an angle, right? I just don't want to move that which is drying. It cracks up here a bit. I'll just add some glue there also. I'll put it in place. If it breaks completely, I'll redo that part. Because it's just been cut out with a the gum paste which was drying out for some time. Okay, but this is again drying out. Now I'll just cut out these two panels using this one. That doesn't matter because I'm not going to change the shape. I'm just going to retain it flat. Okay, so I just want one inside here, right? And that should be in the shape of a triangle. Okay, so first let me just cut out here. Just a minute. Adjust the angle for the Instagram a bit so you can see a little more clearly. Okay. So this one, see, to here from this point till the inside, from the inside of this part till the inside of this part is what I want. So this is for the bench kind of a thing. Usually people sit on top of that in a boat. Let me just place it inside. Yeah, that sounds good. So now this triangular part, I haven't checked the size, but I'm just eyeballing it for now. Let me just place this inside and see if it will fit or if I just need to change the size or the shape. Let me just try and use my forceps. Okay, so it would go in, and then I can just position it. So this shape is also fine. So why I'm not doing any measurements, because I'm just kind of eyeballing it, and if the shape was not right, I would cut it back again. If it was too wide and if it is just changing the shape of the boat itself, then I would change this. So these are the two parts. Okay, so then before placing that, we need this base. For that base, I need to be rolling out some gum paste. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this also back along with this and knead it, because anyway this is dried out a bit, and the dried gum paste together with that little soft gum paste is going to help the base dry out even faster. So it doesn't matter here. I don't want to work with really soft gum paste, so it is okay for my gum paste to be pretty hard, but I need to be kneading it before I start rolling. Though however hard it is, it has to be pliable. Okay, so if it sticks, I'll just add corn flour. Okay, so I just want to check if this whole thing fits the shape of the boat that we have made. It does fit, and now I just need to apply glue on the underside. For now, I'll just gently remove this from there and place it here. So when I'm placing, I want to check my shape again. Okay, now I'll just use my craft scissors. Okay, and go ahead and then cut exactly at the outline of the boat that has been placed. I'll finish that part, and then I will slowly lift up and then add the glue. I don't know if you can see. Okay, so that's exactly where I'm cutting. Okay, but then I need to put them back in position and check my shape if it is all good. So I'll just try at the max how close and accurate I am in cutting out the bottom panel. But if there is excess that's been hanging out, that can be, I'm not sure if you can see, that can be chopped out little later after the whole thing is dried. So for now, try as much to cut and remove the excess. Okay, so that is done. So I'm just putting this in place. I really wish I could just tilt this and show how it is on the sides, but right now it is going to change the shape. So I'm just getting to the eye level to check if things are fine. I'm not quite happy with this, it's kind of broken, so I'm just going to remove that. So after the base is put up, it will be a little more stable. Okay, so what I'm doing, for this part, I just took a ball, softening up. Wasn't quite happy with that one. So it's just a teardrop shape, but the bottom is a bit flat, I'm going to roll it. It's kind of the same shape that we did before, which is a long triangle with a flat base, which is basically a triangle. Okay, and I haven't applied the glue. Okay, and let that dry. For now, what really broke for us is this part. Okay, for that, this should have been in a very a pliable, soft gum paste. But the one that I did previously was drying out for some time, and I cut it out from that part. So I've just made it again. Let this dry. But right now, I need to go and add the glue. Okay, so here's the glue in the brush. I'm going to go to the eye level, lift it gently and put the glue, place it back and put a little bit of pressure, pressing from the top. And some pressure, but just make sure that doesn't distort the shape. It's just standing straight, right? You just don't want that to be changed. Okay, so it's been glued. It's not a good idea to lift and show now. So let me just put it in place, let that dry. So now I'm just going to attach this one also. What I'll do, just try to see if I can change the angle just a bit. Then it's of just trying to change the angle for the Facebook right now. I don't know if it helps, basically because if I change the angle, it kind of gets really dark on the side that I am working. But that's generally, how it is. Okay, just a little bit of the sides, if you can see. Okay, I just leave the Instagram that way because I'm sure that the angle is not going to be really great if I'm changing the boat. Okay, so now I have this part, right? So this needs to be attached here. At this end. So that part needs the glue. Here, and that goes at an angle, it's not straight. And if this is a bit sturdy, I can just pinch it . I'm checking it from both sides if it's quite straight, and that's in shape. Okay, so then I'll just attach this also, because these are all now in place, right? Just making sure that I haven't quite changed the shape. So these are the two places that I need the glue, so I can just put it inside. So I'm adding glue just on the edge, just on this edge, the both end, edges alone. I'll just go in, make sure it is flat. And press it here. And pressing it a bit here as well, so there is no gap between the triangular piece and the edges of the boat. I'm just putting pressure here, and all the way down till there. Okay, I'm just pushing it up as much, so it just kind of stays. But you can actually see, the gap is there. Okay, and then comes this one. This strip should go here. I just want to cross check again if this could go without changing the. Now this is kind of narrowed down. So what I wish to do, cut out just a bit. Just keeping it straight. Let me just check it again. Would it go without kind of widening this up? It needs a little more chopping. Okay, so now it looks good. Now that needs glue on this edge. Okay, and it goes in here like that. And I am using these two fingers to put pressure and hold it in place. And this will be in the level of that triangular panel. Okay, so the parts are now assembled. The next thing that we'd be wanting to do here is painting. For right now, it's really advisable to let the whole thing dry, at least for the glue to completely put things together, stick all the parts together without moving. You should be able to kind of lift the whole thing as one piece, like how I am lifting it, and you should be able to kind of handle the whole piece without doubts that it is going to fall apart. But right now we just need a little time, but I might because we don't want to delay the life. Let me just prepare the paint and all that. Okay, so people watching Facebook, just tell me, is it like really dark? Should I put it back on the top view, or does this make any sense of viewing it at not on the exact top view? Because now anyway I would be painting the sides, but I don't know right now lifting it is a good idea. Should I put it back on the top view, or is this okay? Why is it like really dark for you guys? What I can do just a bit is change the angle so you can see a bit on the direction of where the light comes from. Okay, so maybe fine then. Let me just go ahead and prepare the color. What I have is a chocolate brown, a marie color gel paste. Okay, so I'm just going to add that a bit. It's kind of liquidy, but it still calls gel, but it is in the liquid state only. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create some darker spots of the brown gel on the surface of the panels. I'm not going to dilute this. Just use a brush. Okay, and I'm just going to lift it up. This is that, kind of eye thing that I keep doing for the wooden effects with the texture thing that I do. But right now, very little direct gel touching without any liquid. Okay, and then touching back again. Shape is actually changing. Just a bit, it is just a random, brushing. I'll be using water, but ideally you're supposed to use vodka evaporex. Okay, so the first thing that you can do, this is just one way of just making darker stripes of the gel color. Okay, and the next thing that you can do is I'm just pouring water. Okay, that's just water. It could have been vodka. So I'm just brushing up washing my brush completely, and then I'm not going to lift it. Just going on top of it and brushing again. So whatever darker streaks of the gel color that you've given will remain in few places and will try and get smudged off with the water. You can smudge a few of the darker spots and you can retain some of the darker spots. So I'm just going to again lift it carefully without changing the shape. Okay, so touching the water here. If the brush gets dry, go back to the water, drip off. So some of the streaks will remain. It depends on how long you are letting that gel streaks to dry on the gum paste before using the vodka or the water brush. the shape changed just a bit here. Just kind of changing the shape so much because I'm just holding it without letting it dry. So I'm touching everywhere where just the plain gum paste is seen. If wherever I feel that the darker shade isn't enough, I'll just touch some darker gel and go on top of it with water or the nautical brushing. So I'll see wherever I'm just able to see. I just want to brush it up. If in places where I haven't added the darker brown, I can add now and then touch upon the brush with the liquid. So the darker streaks that are made will just resemble the wooden texture. I'll just go on the sides quickly without lifting it up. And though some of the the darker gels streaks, I've just left it here without removing off or without rubbing it out. So here it's softening up because it hasn't dried, but I am now adding water-based color. Just a bit on this side. Okay, so now I just need to completely let that whole thing dry. Now, okay, so I'm just going to lift it up to show how the sides look. Okay, so the painted darker streaks just remain with a touch of water. The touch of water will have the shine and a little bit of brown, and it's painted everywhere. Actually not a good idea to kind of lift it up and keep changing its position, but I'm just doing it so I can just show you all how it looks. Let me change this. No, I think in both of it the angle looks pretty much okay. Okay, so this needs to be completely dry, and I'm just seeing this panel is kind of getting softer. So if that panel is getting soft and if it doesn't stay in place, you can just keep a crushed tissue under that and then place this panel. And once the whole thing is dried up, where all the glue has done its job, then you can just pull out the tissue paper with the help of a tweezer. But for this one, I hadn't done as quickly as this, so I never used any support under this or this, and this is quite sturdy now. This is also sturdy now. Okay, so um, you can see this is quite hard, but this will take some time to harden up and just rest. So allowing it to rest like say 2 to 4 hours will just get this one fixed. Okay, so I'll just read through if you have any doubts, or otherwise we've just come to the end of today's session. Can we dry the whole boat overnight and then paint? Yes, you have to dry the whole thing at least 4 hours minimum before painting. We're painting it when it is not completely dry is not a good option at all. But then I just wanted to show how to use the brush strokes. What is the difference between gum paste and fondant? That I've been telling it in every other live. If you guys have been watching all my lives, you will know what is the difference between gum paste and the fondant. But yesterday during the wafer paper ruffles, I think I've just explained how different a gum paste and fondant. Is there any other questions? Okay, so where do you keep the boat? On a water, a sea or a lake or something, right? So I was just thinking about ways in which I can make the sea, but I couldn't do that. But I thought I will just discuss with you guys. So the first thing that you can do is to make it with isomalt. But you can read, Google through how to work with isomalt. Basically, you melt it and then you take it to one particular temperature and then bring it down to one particular temperature, and then you can mix the color and then you create, and then a glass-like effect comes. If that is too complicated, the other easier way is to use the piping gel or the neutral glaze that is easily available for us here in India. So you mix blue gel with neutral glaze and then you pour it all over. Pour it all, if it is in a scoopable consistency, then add a few drops of water and then it becomes a little lighter. And then you go around and then, kind of place the whole thing around the boat. Don't try and, place the neutral glaze and put the boat in, because the underside of the boat, if the glaze is there, then it becomes soggy, right? So you can use neutral glaze with a few drops of water and blue gel like the water body around the boat. And the third thing that I was thinking is, on the fondant or the buttercream, you can just paint waves of water in blue color. Okay, and then add corn syrup. A thin layer of corn syrup can be poured over it, and that also should be around the boat. Not let the the liquid there and then make the boat sit on it. So that was another way. Corn syrup, that gives a liquidy thing, but it doesn't soak up. It doesn't have it is like oil based and doesn't have a lot of water. It doesn't soak up inside the fondant. So corn syrup layer over a painted water effect is one way, or using neutral glaze or piping gel mixed with blue gel and a little bit of water is the other way of giving the water effect for the boat around. Okay, and so once this thing is sturdy, you can actually make something sit on it. Okay, so I was just looking for the penguin that I made. It's not anywhere closer to just make it sit there, see, because that much weight this slab can take. Okay, so I think that's all with the doubts, right? So you make the boat and really let the whole panel dry, and and don't be in a hurry to finish it off. Just give all the time for the boat. Once you make it, you can post it in your Instagram stories and I will reshare the story, and you can post it on the Cakes Unplugged by Fondbites magazine group and for all the other friends to watch it. What is glue gel? Glue. The edible glue that I used is the ready-made one from Sugarin's brand. You can make your own. Water and CMC. Half cup of water, warm it and add half a teaspoon of CMC or Tylose powder. Mix it together and then store it. That will be the edible glue. I was talking for the water. I was talking, I think, about piping gel or neutral glaze. That's a different thing. Okay. So then see you guys tomorrow on day 18 then. Bye bye.